recently started dating black men, and let me just add this disclaimer in there. My previous choices in dating were not necessarily intentional. I was just under the impression that black men didn't really like me because they never really pursued me. Although, granted, I did go to school in mainly, like, primarily white institutions, so makes sense, but I have never, like, not liked black men. They've just never really liked me. They've always been, all about the snow bunnies. But yeah, I've been dating black men recently, and the way that so many of them have looked me dead in my eyes and been like, you're probably not gonna find your husband dating black men. Your husband's probably a white man. I'm like, but can you, please? I mean, I appreciate the candor, truly, but for the love of God, please. And again, I still really don't have a preference. Like, I like who likes me, and I like ambitious people who are honest. So it doesn't really, I just also, okay, there is like a small part of me that thinks it would be really, really nice to, like, have a baby with a black man and have a little black baby, but I'm not too attached to it. I'm like, whatever. I love my baby anyway, regardless, so I am just gonna end up with the person that treats me the best and wants me the best, or wants me the most. And yeah, that was just a little bit humbling to be told that so directly. It's like, your husband's probably not a black man. Please, save me.
I mean, she just, kind of taking a stab and talking about the idea. And by no stretch is this woman unattractive, and she seems very pleasant. Her body count, I mean, you could probably fool me or, another guy that you might find attractive. But I think that, her whole life, she's probably only dealt with white guys. That's what I'm getting from this, the gist of the conversation that she's having. And she's now older, and she's probably already thought about this growing up, adolescence, middle school, high school. And she's probably just dated white guys and was wondering, like, well, what would it be to date a black guy? Now she's older, and now that's who she's dating. And those guys are not used to a woman that looks like her, that speaks properly, and, but by any stretch, she should definitely be able to get a husband. She seems very pleasant. And the fact is more refreshing that she doesn't care if it's either or. She just wants to take a stab at it and find out because she's older. Nothing wrong with that. I wish you the best.
I saw a video that really resonated with me that was like, black girls, just because we're so used to, like, we already know how people are going to feel about us, that we might end up like nerfing or taking away good opportunities, like especially dating wise, because we already can tell we're not someone's type, and we should stop assuming and just go for things that we want. And I understand that a lot, but a lot of the time I already fucking know. I've been through middle school, high school. The guys have been like, oh, he's cute. Second I hear he's like, why the fuck would she even think that I'd ever be into her? Like, they get offended. They literally get fucking offended that, like, I would even believe for a second that they would find me attractive, that they would touch me. And that is so emotionally damaging. So I feel like we all have gone into the space of just like self-preservation, but I also get so scared that I'm taking things away from myself and I'm missing out on opportunities that or people that actually could be good for me, just because I feel like I've gained like this radar or whatever. And my therapist was telling me, she was like, she's black, but she was like, Florence, like, you don't like to approach people. Maybe the person that that you want to talk to, that you're attracted to, is also the same way as you, which is true. But I don't know if I'm ready to I don't think I've built up my self-esteem enough to put myself through the stuff that I've gone through before, where I put myself out there and I just get like bullied the out of.
This sounds like she's coming from some trauma, what happened to her. If this is even remotely true, what she's saying, to be honest about it, like, you are going to either let this affect you for the rest of your life and you're going to regret. You're going to have regrets instead of, being happy later, or you're going to laugh now and cry later because you didn't conceive a child, because you're going to be thinking about this. But women, When they're in their prime, they don't know that that's their prime. They think their prime comes later and they can wait and wait and wait and gain trust, but they just lose eggs and they lose attraction from the opposite gender because they're running out of, everything that men look for: youth, beauty, fertility, and eggs. So, yeah, man, just you got to get out of this mind space. You're going to be stuck here, or you're going to be stuck with the women behind this big guy, and you don't want that. This sounds like she's coming from some trauma, what happened to her. If this is even remotely true, what she's saying, to be honest about it, like, you are going to either let this affect you for the rest of your life and you're going to regret. You're going to have regrets instead of, being happy later, or you're going to laugh now and cry later because you didn't conceive a child, because you're going to be thinking about this. But women, when they're in their prime, they don't know that that's their prime. They think their prime comes later and they can wait and wait and wait and gain trust, but they just lose eggs and they lose attraction from the opposite gender because they're running out of, everything that men look for: youth, beauty, fertility, and eggs. So, yeah, man, just you got to get out of this mind space. You're going to be stuck here, or you're going to be stuck with the women behind this big guy, and you don't want that.
Hey y'all, it's your girl Nikki, back in my place temporarily. So, let me fill you in on the Bahamas trip. So you know how I went there to see my Nunu? Turns out he's a no-no. Blocked. This same birthday, I thought like we had so much chemistry. Not that I thought it was going to be a long-term thing, but...
Translation, she pretty much got into a situation so she can get some guaranteed penis locked down, because let's just be honest, women between 30 and 40 years old, when they're not locked down and they don't have a serious boyfriend or a possible fiance or husband, they are fighting for their lives to get affection. And even in the beginning, she already knew, I wasn't expecting a long situation with you, or like a long relationship, because she knows at that age, guys are just going to drop it off in their drawers and dip out. It's just funny watching how they are just like we were when we were 18, unless you were like me and other, like a small amount of guys who were still smashing girls that got the opportunity. But an 18-year-old guy now who's a virgin, who hasn't done anything, he's just pretty much a bum. Women aren't going to smash him. So he will fight for any type of box that he can get. And now this woman in her 30s, and most women are fighting for any D that they can get.
Basically used me. I get there. Now he is a taxi driver, like a high, he's got like the luxury vehicles or whatever. I don't know if you've been to the Bahamas, but it's really hard to get any kind of transportation. Not only that, you have to know where you are because they need the directions to get to you because Wi-Fi is so bad. But then again, they live on an island. It's a small island, right? NASA. So he picks me up from the airport. Great. I don't see him for like literally 3 days, which I'm fine with. Actually, I decided that was actually what I needed because I was by myself, doing my thing, reading my books, and just like looking forward to my new life ahead, right?
Ma'am, that's cap. And how I can prove that is cap is that if the 3 days that went by didn't affect you, after he only saw you for a couple hours that one night when he picked you up, he probably saw you and he was like, hell no, I'm good. So he really didn't do you dirty like that. And the thing is, what you were counting on, you weren't counting on reading your books and starting your new life out in the Bahamas. You were looking for that new dick. That's what you were looking for. Like, stop playing, man. You were trying to dribble some balls in your throat. Like, let's just not cap.
So the last night, this morning, I was flying out and what an asshole. I said to him, are you going to be able to pick me up? Like, literally, that's what he does. We talk over WhatsApp, right? You know, when there's a double check, it means he saw it. It's already 6:45. I need to be at the airport 3 hours ahead. This asshole no-showed. You heard me right. He showed. And like, I still had a suitcase there because I thought like, oh, I'll just come back or whatever. Thank God I got that suitcase. Who knew I had a gold mine in there? I forgot all the clothes that I had. But he fucking no-showed. Thank God I already had, like a cab service that I had to use all week. And it's not cheap. Bahamas is really expensive.
The truth is, he's just not fucking with you. He didn't want to see your mug anymore. He just didn't want to deal with you. He didn't like what he saw the first time. And that's the thing. That's what bothered you the most. And you call him an a-hole. You talked all crazy about him. But, like, this is ridiculous. Women just can't hold L's for some reason. Just understand you're not that attractive. Guys could reject you just like you could reject guys and call them a-holes. He probably thought you were an a-hole because he probably thought you were going to look different, or you probably look different in the pictures. See, women never think about these things, nor do they think about holding themselves accountable. So am I surprised by this response that I'm getting from her? No. But did that guy definitely dodge a headache? Yes, because she wanted to get more out of the situation, and it really messed her up because she thought that she could use him to get picked up, but that was the last time he was getting picked up was when you got there. To go back to the airport, to fly back out to the States, not his responsibility. You just met the guy while you were out there, or set up something most likely before you had the vacation. Oh, he's a driver. Get out of here, man. He just wasn't feeling you. Anyway, leave your comments below. Let me hear what you guys feel about this. You guys like the video, sub to the channel, post notifications on. I got to get up out of here. Bounty Villains up. Mastodon's down. Let's get it. Let's go. I'm going to see you guys all in the next video. I got to get back up to cooking this content. You guys are the best. See you guys in the next one. Love y'all. Peace.